So, retirement is not an age, it's a number. This is your financial independence number. This is when your investments will be able to provide you income, so you never have to work again if you don't want to. Hi everyone, my name is Wahidah Aziz. I am your investing coach, Wahidah. This is where you're able to learn how to invest and build wealth, even if you're the first in your family to do so. I wasn't planning on shooting a video today, but I just got off a call with the client and y'all really do energize me. So threw some lipstick on and we're ready to shoot. Please don't mind my chocolate stains on my sweatshirt. So your financial independence number is how much money you need in order to live off of your investments so you don't have to work if you don't want to. How do we get to our financial independence number? Well, luckily there's a study done by a financial advisor, William Bengen, and he's one of the few white men that I will listen to. But he did a study where he found that a 4% withdrawal rate of your investments will last you at least 35 years, and most portfolios lasted 50 years, if not beyond. Let's break down what this means. So Bengen found that by keeping a diversified portfolio and maintaining stocks at about 75% in your portfolio, you were able to maintain a 4% withdrawal rate of your investments and have that portfolio last at least 35 years, while most portfolios lasted 50 years or beyond. He actually didn't even look how long they would last. He kind of stopped looking at 50 years because most people don't intend to be retired for more than 50 years. But with this new age of financial independence, retire early phenomenon, there's more and more people looking to be able to retire for that long, if not longer, right? But there's still definitely outliers. So with that said, some experts have said that with this study and with the 4% rule, there's potential where you could never run out of money and you would even leave behind money and have a legacy. So this is an assumption that your portfolio, your investments are making back what you're pulling out every year. Okay, so let's take a look. So if you have a portfolio of $1 million and you took a 4% withdrawal rate, this would mean that you're able to take out $40,000 per year. And then the next year, you're able to take out $40,000 plus the inflation rate. So whatever the inflation rate plus $40,000. And you can keep doing this year after year. And Bengen looked at different times in the market to make sure that his findings held true, right? So he looked at the market downturns, he looked at the stock market crash of 1929, he looked at the Great Depression, the World War II, and the stagflation in 1970s. He ran this test, this 4% rule test, throughout all those time periods, so 100 years back. And his analysis showed that the 4% rule stood up to the test. And below are the graphs that he found. First, we're actually going to look at the 3% pullout. So if you look here, you can see that he did a test where he's looking at the number of years the portfolio assets will last, and he started with 3%. So if you pull 3% of your portfolio, year 50, with a 50% stock allocation, every portfolio still had money left over. If we did the same thing but increased our withdrawal rate to 4%, you can see every portfolio had money left over at year 35 and most portfolios had money left over at year 50. Okay, and here, figure 3A, you can see how this would look if you increased your stock allocation from 50%, like they were in the last graphs, to 75%. So here you can see the number of years the portfolio assets will last if the withdrawal rate was 4% and the stock allocation was 75%. You can see here the majority of portfolios lasted at least 35 years and the majority of portfolios had money left over even at year 50. And then here at figure 4D, you can see this is looking at the value of the portfolio at the end of year 20. So this graph is showing us if we pulled that 4% withdrawal rate and the allocation of this portfolio was 75% stocks, 25% bonds. You can see that, so it's starting with, it's assuming a $1 million portfolio at the start of retirement. So at the start of retirement, there's $1 million and we're pulling 4%, so $40,000 year one. And we keep doing that, and this graph is showing up to 20 years. And we're gonna look at how much money was in this portfolio after doing this for 20 years, inflation adjusted. And you can see in the graph, in 20 years, everyone had money in their portfolio. Some even tripled their portfolio size. So it really depends on what's happening in the market and during your retirement years to kind of see if you're going to be the ones tripling your portfolio size, or are you going to come below your that $1 million start. So you can see that there were a few portfolios at year 20 that ended up less than the $1 million start that they had. But I'm not necessarily even worried about those portfolios that dipped below 1 million, because again, the market is so volatile. You can't really tell what it's going to do year on year, but over the long term, it does go up. So I wouldn't be surprised that if these portfolios that even went under 1 million at year 20, that it may be because it was a more volatile year. And again, the market is very volatile, but over the long term, it goes up. So I would even bet that these portfolios over the next 10, 20, 30 years would have seen a steady increase in their portfolio size. Because the best time to invest in the market is during a market downturn, or like after a market downturn. So these portfolios that went under $1 million may have been during a market downturn time. So it looks like it's not doing so great, right? And it's not doing so great, but you don't lock in your losses until you sell. So if you still keep invested during those downturns, the next decade or so you're gonna see your portfolio increase. And this is also to show that multiple income streams are important as well. So markets are volatile. So year on year, it may go up, it may go down, but even though over the long term, it's gonna go up. But if you're retired and you need that money, right? The market's not gonna be like, well, wait 10 years to pull out your money, right? So this is where multiple income streams will become important. So not just relying on your investment returns, but maybe having like a side hustle or like a selling or royalties or books or that kind of stuff, right? So there's different ways where you can make money other than through investments. So having multiple income streams is going to make you more resilient to market downturns. Okay. And if you're more worried about like a volatile market when you're ready to retire, we can't predict the future, right? Then you can kind of become more conservative, right? Only pull 3% of your portfolio year on year, rather than do a 4% withdrawal rate. So that, because in the studies, we saw in the graphs that all the portfolios that were being pulled at 3% lasted 50 years and beyond. Okay, so with the 4% rule, you can reverse engineer the equation and see how much money we need to reach our financial independence number. So this is done by the rule of 25. So your financial independence number is going to depend on how much money you think you need at retirement. So the rule of 25 is just essentially saying, take what you need every year during retirement and multiply that by 25. If you're kind of unsure, like I'm not really sure how much I need during retirement, you can base it off of like your salary today, and maybe you want to replace it at 100%. So maybe you say, I need the salary I have today in retirement. So you're replacing your salary at 100% in retirement. So let's say you're making $60,000 a year currently, and you want to keep it that same level in retirement. So you'll take $60,000, multiply that by 25, your financial independence number is $1.5 million. And so every year, once you hit $1.5 million, you'll be able to follow that 4% rule and pull for $60,000 every year to live off of. And that's actually that's personally my financial independence number. So that's what I'm plugging away. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. And just as a reminder, none of this information is financial advice. This is just for educational purposes. This information isn't personalized. If you need more personalized information, that's when you can take a look at reaching out to a certified financial planner for more personalized information on your case specifically. All right, everyone. I will see you next week with a new video. Thanks so much. Bye.